Hey everyone, this is Marcus again with my journey becoming Catholic. Not much has been going on since I got back from the honeymoon. I've gone to church once and not even at my normal parish. I went to St. Mary Cause of Our Joy, which is right across the street from me basically. And I went for a 8:30, was it 8 or 8:38 I think, morning mass on a weekday. And the mass barely lasted half an hour, like 27 minutes. So I just haven't really had the drive. I've been feeling very spiritually weak, almost like as I described to one person, that spiritual flame that was lit inside of me, that was driving me and really filling me with God's grace. Feels like it kind of just like died out, and everything inside has gone cold spiritually in like the last 2 weeks. Um, haven't I mean haven't been praying the rosary like I started to for a little while, and haven't really been praying much. Only gone to mass once in the last almost month. So yeah, I don't know, just struggling I guess lately. Hopefully I'll hear back from our canon at our church, our priest. They call them canons in the Latin mass terminology, and hopefully I hear back from him soon. I've been waiting for at least a month now from a call back from him about when we can meet so I can start my journey to becoming Catholic, since they don't do traditional RCIA here at the traditional Latin Mass church I go to. You meet one-on-one with the canon for formation, and a couple of the people I've met at the church have gone through their conversion at St. Joseph Oratory, and they said meeting one-on-one with the canon was very amazing, and they learned a lot more than they would have probably in a group setting, which is good for me because I don't learn well in group settings. I learn better one-on-one. So hopefully I should hear back from our canon soon. Hopefully before Oktoberfest, which is at our parish that I go to, St. Joseph Oratory hosts Oktoberfest, and that's on September 22nd. And me, my wife, and my father and mother-in-law, and my brother-in-law are going there for my mother-in-law's birthday. So that'll be the first time any of them have seen the church I've been going to, and been trying to get my wife. I almost said fiance again. Only been married a month, so I'm still trying to get used to saying wife, not fiance. But my wife, I've been still trying to get her to go to church with me. She has no desire, which I can understand. I mean, she is a cradle Catholic, but I mean, her family, I mean, after confirmation, if you don't want to go, you don't have to. So I'm not going to force her. I can't force her, and I'm not going to bug her about it. So I think I've already gotten to a point where I've bugged her to the point she's gotten upset a couple times. She does get upset when I talk about too much religious stuff, which I can understand. Coming from the man she married and the man she's dated for 6 years before she married, it's a totally turnaround. I have literally pulled a 180-degree turnaround on the type of person I am, and it can be scary to a spouse. I can understand she doesn't, sometimes she doesn't even recognize who I am when I'm speaking in this religious tongue, because it's not who I was all the time she's known me. So it's a big change for her, and I can probably is making her a little bit uneasy, and she probably doesn't know what to make of it, don't know how to understand it. But there's a way I tried to describe it to her is the 2 times I went to Catholic masses with her, once with her family and her grandma at her grandma's parish, and then once for her cousin's confirmation or communion. I think it was communion. Um, I could just feel God working through my wife to get to me. And now she goes to mass maybe once a year. She hasn't gone to confession in over a decade, probably. But God worked through her to get to me, and now I'm taking my journey becoming Catholic, and I've just been praying and hoping that she'll come to church with me at least once and experience it. The church I've been going to, I mean, because she's always gone to Novus Ordo masses. So for her to go to a traditional Latin Rite mass, or a mass in extraordinary form, as some people call it, will be definitely a big change for her. But yeah, I think she'll like it. She really likes to sing and she loves music. So hopefully, if she does start going to mass with me, maybe she'll get into the choir. Who knows? But Yeah. She definitely has the voice for Gregorian chant. She's better at singing a cappella and the old school hymnal stuff than she can. I think she sings hymnals and like old school opera and stuff like that better than she sings Evanescence stuff, which is what she sings usually at karaoke night when we go to the bar. So, and she's a beautiful singer, beautiful voice, an amazing wife, and it'd be nice to be able to be in mass and have her sitting up behind me in the huge balcony that's behind you at St. Joseph's, and having her sing during the mass. That'd be an amazing thing down the road one day. But I'm not gonna count my chickens before they hatch. You know what I mean? But yes, if you were wondering, I did have a little scrape and fall. Earlier this week, I went to go help my father-in-law put the tarp over the pool at their house, my father-in-law and mother-in-law's house, and tripped over one of the plumbing hoses or something that go from the water pump for the pool, and caught my wrist and my knee. Took all the weight of the fall, and when my knee went down, it jammed my hip back so far that my hip was sore for the next 2 days. The hip is actually feeling good today, but you can tell this hand right here, is very tender. It's like I press on it, it feels like bone stabbing skin. I hope I didn't fracture nothing, but I'll let it heal more and then decide if I need to go to the urgent care. But yeah, I guess you can say I've been a little bit depressed lately, and my depression probably has drawn me away from going to church. It probably has. I wouldn't be surprised if that's, I mean, the way the devil's working to keep me away from God is, I mean, throwing more depression at me. Like, I don't deal with that enough every day, but I've been learning for years, so I started to get to the point where depression was starting to be easy to deal with, and then I started my journey of becoming Catholic, and it feels like I'm being bombarded with all this anxiety and depression, which I know is just tests. The devil's trying to get me, and trying to get me to stay strong, I guess. I don't know. I'm not too much on theology yet. I don't know much about theology of the Catholic faith, so if I say something that's wrong, please correct me politely and educate me. Because at this point, I'm not even considered a catechumen yet, as someone stated, because I haven't started meeting with our canon at our church and learning from him. I'm technically not even a catechumen yet. So that kind of really made me feel like, I don't know, when someone told me that I wasn't even a catechumen yet, and I've been really pumped up and amped up and wanting to become Catholic, and those last 2 weeks have been kind of a depressive, and having a hard time even getting myself to pray sometimes. It feels like, man, I haven't even started the journey yet, really. I'm not even a catechumen. I don't want to back out, but sometimes I feel like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing with my life right now? I love God. I love Jesus. I know he is present in the Eucharist. I know his body and blood is present. I believe in all of that. But it's just that sometimes I feel like the devil works harder in me than he does. Like, no matter how much I pray, the devil is going to be more consuming in my spirit, my soul, than God can fight him off. You know what I mean? And I don't know if it's because I lived a life of sin and a life of evil ways, I don't know what you want to call them, for so many years, just in my troubled youth and having some criminal background. I feel like the devil has just been so strong on me for so many years, it's going to be even harder for me to get God to fill me fully and extinguish the devil or Satan. But yeah, I really don't know. At this point, I'm just struggling spiritually. I've tried to reach out to multiple Franciscan friars and sent friend requests on Facebook, sent messages. Haven't gotten no responses. It seems like anytime I try to contact anybody, any priest or any brother or father, it just seems like I don't get no response, and then that discourages me and makes me not want to go to church, because if they can't respond to me here on Facebook, how am I supposed to be able to present those issues to them in person? You know what I mean? For me, it's so hard to present my issues to someone in person. Texting or messaging someone is so much easier for me to type it out, because I know when I look at the message before I send it, it's what I mean. It's how it's supposed to come out. When I speak sometimes, I probably already have done it in this video. I said things in a way or a manner or in a context that I did not mean, or I didn't understand it was going to come out that way. So, oops, my phone fell. Sorry. Yeah, I'm holding my phone. I don't have no fancy phone holding thing. I don't have no freaking gyroscope that stops it from bouncing. I finally got my desktop hooked up. Oh, you can't even see it, but so hopefully soon, because I found out that I can't do live videos with my phone until I get 1,000 subscribers, which I doubt I'm ever gonna get 1,000 subscribers. So I found out I can do live videos with a webcam on my desktop, which means I have to scrounge up some money or sacrifice in other areas of our financial life with me and my wife so I can afford a cheap webcam. Maybe I can find one at the thrift store. I did have one a while back that I found at the thrift store, but it probably got lost in my room over the last 5 years. And when I moved, I didn't see it at all. I didn't find it when I unpacked when I moved. So, yeah, I don't know where it's at. But hopefully I'll be able to do live videos soon. And hopefully in the near future, I'll be able to give you guys actual real content. I promise, I'm going to try to promise as I learn from our canon, as I'm given assignments and given stuff to read and study, I'm going to try to do some of that reading and studying, and maybe even ask questions if I'm stumped on them on an assignment with you guys. I know I'm talking with my hands really weird. Sorry. I'm just kind of feeling a little bit dorky and trying to cure my depression with dorkiness. I don't know. But I guess maybe I'll give you guys one little Bible verse. Let me go grab my Bible. It's in my bedroom, or me and my wife's bedroom. Yeah, I got to the point where I was just so depressed and couldn't pray or anything that instead of keeping my Bible in the living room with my rosary and my catechism book where I've been keeping it, it got put in my almost empty dresser, because I just felt like, what's the feeling? It felt like the priests and stuff just didn't want to respond to me. Like, I don't know if I felt like I offended them. I don't know if I did something that I shouldn't have in mass or what. I don't know why they haven't responding. I feel like it's me. I feel like I did something, and that's how it's always been. When something happens, I always try to place the blame on myself so much and beat myself up over stuff. But I'm going to read one Bible verse today. And it goes back from when I first started ever going to church with a friend that passed away 2 years ago. This was one of the Bible verses that I used to love. Let me see if I can even remember it. Psalms 34, right there. 13. I'm gonna read Psalms 34, 13 on up until I don't know when I usually stop reading it. But it starts with Psalms 34, my bad. Psalms 34. And you go down and I'm in the Ignatius Bible. 14. Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking deceit. Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. The eyes of the Lord are toward the righteous, and his ears are toward their cry. The face of the Lord is against evildoers, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth. When the righteous cry for help, the Lord hears and delivers them out of all their troubles. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. Now that verse has always been strong to me, because in times like this, when I feel like distant from the Lord and like my efforts to become Catholic or grow strong in my faith have just been like crushed, or like that flame, like I said before, has been extinguished, almost like putting out the flame on a candle. That verse kind of brings a little bit of understanding. You know what I mean? That even though I may be praying or not praying, and when I speak, even sitting there mumbling to myself, complaining, the Lord hears me. You know what I mean? And I'll admit, I'm not the best person. I do have evil on my tongue sometimes. I try not to speak in deceit, but with my past and just how I've been raised, and I had a bad problem with lying growing up, and I finally got it under control when in my late teens, like 17 to 19. I started working on that really hard, my lying and just being more honest. And over the last couple of years, it's been a lot easier to be honest, but just speaking only good, speaking of not only of God's grace, but things that are filled with God's grace. So all those times I spoke about stupid things in metal songs, like reference a metal song that me and my buddy used to love. It's about mutilating babies. That's not godly. That's not holy. I should not be listening to that music, and I haven't been for months. I've been trying to pick out some of the bad music, some of the dark, depressing, unholy music, which is almost everything I listen to, being listened to 80s rock, heavy metal, death metal, black metal, all that metal. I was a metalhead growing up. I was into the 80s rock, classic rock, 70s, 60s. I played bass, so I was into jazz and blues and R&B. I'm very diverse with my musical genres. I love a lot of types of music. Now, there may be certain artists and genres that I cannot stand because they make that genre look bad. But a lot of music has a lot of bad influence or bad keys to it, like points to get it's getting across to your head, or things like you listen to a song and it's going to make you feel this way. There's certain songs that I listen to and they make me depressed. Should I be listening to those songs on the way to church? No. Should I be listening to those songs at all? Do I need to? No. I mean, I'm not going to be that person who sits there and listens to only Gregorian chant. Probably never going to be only listen to Gregorian chant. Do I listen to it a lot? No. Do I listen to it every once in a while? Yes, I do love it. It is very beautiful and something I've really loved that I found in the last couple months. I mean, the Gregorian chant I found probably about a month ago or so. I found it and listened to it, and it's very beautiful. But other than that, music, I mean, it's one of those big things. Like when my journey becoming Catholic, I'm having to change a lot of things about myself. The way I speak, the way I talk. Well, that's the same thing as speak. The way I carry myself, the music I listen to, the people I associate with. A lot of the friends I had right before my wedding, and even most of my groomsmen, I don't even really talk to or have no want to talk to or hang out with anymore. Because I don't want to just sit around and get drunk and listen to metal music and bullshit around. I want to do something more purposeful with my life. And I've really been on this drive to try to change. I've been slowly starting to work out in the morning, trying to lose. My goal is to lose like 40 pounds. I'm around 222. I want to get down to 180. If I can get down to 190, I'm going back into the National Guard office and I'm signing those papers. I'm joining the National Guard like I wanted to when I was young, and for years of my youth, I thought I was never going to be able to because of some stupid stuff that happened in my youth. But come now, years later, of course, the military seemed to be a little bit desperate for people. And I would love to go active duty, but wife says no. So National Guard it is. And she's not too happy with my choice of MRS I want to pick. I want to go infantry, preferably at 11B over 11C, but I would deal with 11C only because my uncle was a mortarman in Vietnam, and it would be kind of sentimental to be an 11C myself, which is what he was in Vietnam, and then he retired in the National Guard after 20, I think he did like 14 years in the National Guard or something like that. But yeah, so that's one of my goals. But my goal is to sign the paperwork in time to where my 6 months of RSP, or my 6 to 9, I want to try to do 9 months of RSP, which is basically monthly drilling before you go to basic, because I want to try to be confirmed and have all my stuff done on Easter Vigil before I go to basic training, because I want to be able to go to basic training as a Catholic, and on Sundays during basic training you're allowed to go to your religious services, and I want to be able to receive the Eucharist during basic training as a Catholic, as a way to keep me strong to basic training, because I have a lot of people that have told me you won't make it in the Army, you won't make it in the National Guard, you're going to quit 5 minutes in the basic training. And The old me probably would have. The me filled with God's Spirit and His love and His strength can make it through anything that I want to make it through and that God wants me to make it through. And if that's what God's been calling me to do, like I feel, then joining the National Guard is what I'll do. I'll go. Well, the other thing I've been feeling calling to do is after joining the National Guard, try to get a some sort of military base or a management based degree, so I can commission as an officer from enlisted in the National Guard, which will get me more money, monthly drill pay. Plus, we'll also, as an officer, you then have the opportunity or the chance, at least, if you're a good officer or a good soldier, to eventually one day maybe make the rank of brigadier general. And who doesn't want to end up being a general? You know what I mean? That would be something cool. But I'm not going to get my hopes up. You know what I mean? If I stay enlisted my whole time in there, I stay enlisted my whole time in the National Guard. You know what I mean? I want to serve my country and give back to the country that I have kind of been a little bit of a menace to in my youth. You know what I mean? So I want to get, after I get a military-based degree and possibly commission as an officer, my next goal is to go back and get a bachelor's and then master's in either theology or sacred theology. Sorry, my speech is getting horrible. I need to get something to drink. Shameless plug. I am a Coca-Cola holic. I used to drink like a 12-pack of this stuff a day. I'm drinking like 3 or 4 now, which is really good for me. I'm trying to quit it out. If I can quit this completely, I'll probably drop 10 pounds. Easy. But, yeah, get a sacred theology degree or just regular theology degree. If I can, one day maybe take it up to the point of a doctorate degree, but I'm not, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not going to get my hopes up, you know what I mean? I would love to be able to be an old Catholic man in the Knights of Columbus, retired from the National Guard with a doctorate degree and maybe a master's degree. Because I know if you want to go for the rank of lieutenant colonel or colonel, I think it's lieutenant colonel, you have to have a master's. Which at that point I would take that bachelor's in that management or military-based degree and get a master's in that, and hopefully by then I already have a master's in theology. So I really want to do so much more with my life, and it's really hard to push myself. It's really hard some days when the drive that I may have had the night before that was so strong is just completely extinguished. I mean, I'll go to bed one night with this whole game plan set for the next day, this whole drive, like mental drive to do this stuff the next day, and I wake up and I get none of it done. So, and I know that's probably depression, and I've dealt with it for years, and honestly, I was on medication for most of my youth, antidepressants, mood stabilizers. I've been diagnosed with multiple different diagnoses. Diagnosis is, yeah, whatever the hell you say it, but my current therapist doesn't think I have anything. He thinks I just need to get off the pot, which is one thing that has been a very big struggle. And I know a lot of Catholics have very bad views against it, but yeah, I need to get off smoking weed. Even though I have my med card and it's recreationally legal in my state, it's just not something that's benefiting me. It's not helping me. It's harming me. It's keeping me away from God. It's keeping me away from an opportunity of a good job. I mean, I've lost a couple job opportunities because I couldn't get clean in time for a drug test. And I mean, so yeah, this is probably going to be my longest video so far at 23 minutes. I know it's probably me more rambling. For those of you that have stuck around and listened to my rambling, if I've said anything that upset you, please let me know. I want to try to make amends. You know what I mean? I don't want to upset anybody in this channel. I just want to, when I need to rant, and I'm not going to always be ranting, I'm going to try to be more organized in the future with videos, with content. But yeah, today was a little bit of a rant, I guess. So if you like my content, or if you want to see more, please like and subscribe, and possibly share this. I know there's multiple groups I've been sharing this on, the Detroit Catholic Young Adults. I've shared my videos on, as well as the Catholic YouTubers page. I've shared a lot of my pages on. A lot of my videos on. I'm sorry, I'm just screwing up my words right now. But I do want to give a big shout out to my 25th subscriber. Surprised by marriage. A great young couple, great young Catholic couple, and I've watched a couple of their videos last night. I can't even speak now. I watched a couple of their videos last night after I saw that they had subscribed, and that was my 25th subscriber. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch a couple of their videos. And they had a couple of videos. One being, I think it was 5 steps to holiness in your relationship or marriage, and then another one that I watched was what to do if your spouse is on a different spiritual playing field, or it's just different spiritual mentality. Luckily, the couple that made the video, Surprised by Marriage, they're both Catholics. So for them, when they spoke about starting to pray, was the first thing they started to pray together every night. That's something that I would love to be able to do with my wife, but I'm kind of afraid to ask her at this point with how I've kind of annoyed her with the religious talk and kind of asked her probably too many times to come to Mass. I'm kind of afraid to ask her to pray with me every night. I mean, we've only been married less than a month. I don't want to be too religious and push her away, but I also want her to be religious with me and us to grow together. You know what I mean? So their videos really made a good sense to me, and it really helped me understand what options I have. And at this point, I feel like most I can do is pray and ask the saints to intercede. So that's what I've been doing, is when I do pray, and when I have prayed, which hasn't been much recently, it's been praying that she will come back to the church. My wife will start going to Mass with me, and to protect us and my family and all that. So, but I'm trying to think of if there's anything else I want to say. So yeah, Surprised by Marriage was my 25th subscriber. Thank you so much, both of you two. Your videos are amazing and a great inspiration for other young YouTubers like myself. Trying to think. Oktoberfest, if you're in the Metro Detroit area, please come to Oktoberfest at St. Joseph Oratory on September 22nd. They have an annual Stein holding contest, which they have a couple spots open left for the Stein holding contest in the women and the men's division. There's a link on their Facebook page, which I can put in the link, as well as I'm going to link one of Surprised by Marriage's YouTube videos that I watched in the description below. So there'll be a link to their channel or one of their videos, as well as I'm going to try to put a link to St. Joseph Oratories. Probably I'm going to put a link to their website, their actual website, not their Facebook page or their event. But yeah. So hope you guys have a great weekend, and I guess I can close this out on a prayer if that doesn't seem too weird. I know a couple of YouTubers who start their videos with prayers, but I don't know if I can remember seeing one that ended their video with a prayer. So I really have never prayed, but to myself, no one else has ever heard how I pray. I probably pray, I'm not going to say I pray wrong, but I probably don't pray the most informal and educated way. But yeah, so Heavenly Father, please keep us safe and bless all the other Catholic YouTubers that are out there watching this video, and the ones that have not found my channel yet. Please bless me and my wife and our family, and keep my mother and father and brother-in-law safe as they're on vacation this weekend. Please keep my wife in your prayers, Lord, and please, Mother Mary, intercede for her. Help her bring her back to the church, and help show her your son's light. Please, God, give me the strength to get myself out of this house and go to Mass more often, and give me the strength to pray, and just fill me with your love and grace, Lord. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay, thank you all. Please remember to like and subscribe, and please comment. Give me topics. I really want topics from you guys for future videos, and I will make those videos. If you give me something to do a topic on, and it's a topic that I don't know much about, I will go study my Bible. I will go study my catechism. I will go bug all of my Catholic friends that I have. Nick and Jack. Nick Switzer and Jack Houting. If somebody comments a suggestion of a video, I might be bugging you too for help on the video. But please, give me something to do. Give me more reasons to make more videos. It's because it's been hard to make videos. It's been almost like a week and a half, 2 weeks. And I just feel like this video is way overdue. So God bless and have a great weekend.
Bye.